What do you want me to say?
Street school, Grandma.
Street school.
Snow, what up?
Man, what's happening?
Man, I appreciate you coming back for episode 2, bro.
Bigg Homie Podcast. That was a fucking spite on my leg. Did you get that on camera? Holy shit. Jesus Christ, bro. I hope you seen the spite on my...
That's crazy.
We back with the Bigg Homie Podcast. We back. There's a little spite on my leg, man. You know, the Lord say, stay on your toes. Watch out for these hoes. Screek, what's happening?
What up, though?
Where we at?
Man, we got some special guests on here today. We got my boy Spate. What up, though?
Hello.
Hey.
It's a pleasure to be
Hey.
here.
Man, don't start that shit, man.
I want to give honor to God.
Bro, let me tell you what that shit remind me of. Remember that video when then niggas throwing their gang signs and sitting that one nigga in the back like, yeah, that's crazy.
That's hilarious. Then we got Exquisite
Yo,
Jazz.
exquisitely jazz. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good afternoon.
I'm well. What about y'all?
Hey, I'm good.
Blessed and highly favored, and the Lord still got his hands on me, child.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good to me.
Free.
Want to do it?
Willie won't.
Take the wheel.
I'm paying my tithes and offering.
Man, how y'all doing? Jazz, first of all, I love when, I'm trying to have a lady present on this platform frequently, not necessarily every time, but, frequently. So let me ask you first, how do you feel about being on the Bigg Homie Podcast?
I'm excited. And
Word.
you cuzzo, so I'm always with it. Anytime you call.
That's what's up,
I'm
though.
coming.
We're gonna definitely we definitely family.
Shout out to Street.
Shout out to you, man. Now we got nothing specific, you know what I'm saying, but we do got an interesting topic today, and it's basically how to shake back.
How to shake back.
How to shake back.
Boy, it's tough.
And it's a lot of different directions you can go with that. With that being said, we're gonna start with financially. And the reason I want to start with financially because my boy Spade over here is an accountant. He know a little bit about money.
Might need you.
Just a little bit, $1 plus another $1. $2. Uh-oh.
I ain't got nothing for you to account, but I got somebody for your ass to scam. Nothing. What you trying to do? Let me give you my number before you leave.
Hey. Okay.
Being familiar with money. Let me rephrase that. Being familiar with colleagues who are familiar with money, does a person being an accountant make them more responsible?
Yes, but it's not because you're just naturally responsible. It is just knowing right and wrong. So every time as an accountant, you do something reckless, like you are purposefully doing it recklessly because you know better. So just by doing that, like after a while, it'd be like, all right, I know I need to be better with my money. I know I need to budget. I know I need to take care of bills. And I don't know if everybody else's parents, but as a parent, setting something up for my girls. So yeah, it's just, I know better. So Dove saying, if you know better, you do better. That's where it comes from. But that comes from not just being an accountant. Like if you work in finance, hell, you work in the bank as just a teller, or you just work with money, after a while, like you're gonna pick up a habit of, all right, I'm seeing a lot of people make money, and I want to make money, and I want to be able to keep my money, because as Black people, a lot of times it ain't making the money that we have a problem. It's goddamn keeping the money.
We're gonna spend it up.
As somebody
we
who,
gonna blow that shit.
yeah, like,
we gonna blow that shit.
and even in that, like I have I had those same issues. Like my shoe habit, I should not be spending what I spend on shoes.
Man, look at my teeth. This ain't no grill. Shit. This ain't no grill.
So, yeah, man. But that's just part of how we raise. Like, we are raised to, hey, we got a few dollars.
Culture.
We got to show it. Like, we can be the richest person in the room, but if we ain't showing it, like, that's tough for us. So we're gonna have some jewelry, or we gonna have some shoes that you don't realize is worth 5 bands.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I mean, go ahead, Jess.
I feel like I used to be like that though, but after a while, I started thinking like, I make good money.
Yeah.
But if something was to happen right now, I might not have the money to cover it or something like that. So after a while, and the older I got, I started moving a little bit different. I didn't have to flaunt it. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes I can have on something and somebody won't even know what it's worth.
Mm.
But because it's not one of those, it got G's all over it or the logo showing real big or whatever the case may be. But I started saving my money a little bit differently and spending a little bit differently. Don't get me wrong. I still spend on what I want to spend on. However, I feel like as I got older, it ain't even about impressing people. It's about being able, if something was to happen, let's say if, I don't know, somebody died or somebody went to jail.
Just that
I got
rainy
money.
day. Yeah, that rainy day fund.
I got a rainy day fund. That right there hold weight to me.
Okay, so before I leave this subject, because I do want to ask Snow a question on this subject. I want to ask you, being an accountant and going to school for, what are some of the things that you learned in your education that is like common for like the everyday person, like something that they need to know? This was interesting enough that they need to know this.
Yeah, sitting money in a bank account or up on a mattress is stupid. The longer your dollar is sitting somewhere where it's not creating more money, it's stupid. It's a waste of money. You're actually losing money. As somebody as a kid who just loves, I had a cut up mattress who loves stuffing my money in the mattress. Like, yeah, it's stupid. You're not gaining anything. So I would say the biggest thing is getting into stocks. Right now, it's easier than it's ever been. Like Cash Apps, you can buy partial stocks. Like you can literally spend $1 to get a stock and just let it sit there for a couple months. And you know what? That dollar may now progress to $1.50, but that's still 50 cents more than you would have had if that dollar was just sitting in the drawer or in 4 quarters in a change jar.
Hey, could you speak into the top of the mic for me, please?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, just like invest in our money. And like I said, you can do something simple. Like we all know major companies, Walmart, Amazon, Microsoft. Like those companies, for the most part, especially Walmart, Amazon, aren't going anywhere. They employ too many people for the government to allow them to fail. So they ain't going nowhere. Putting your $5 there versus, like I said, just having it sit in the drawer is kind of, it's actually dumb, but nobody teaches us that. So that's what we do.
Okay, so
teaches you how to choose stock either. I think I'm bad at that. Like
actually
I've tried to
choosing it,
choose some.
like
But that's why I say, for you start choosing stocks when you have the money to be okay with it. If I'm gonna lose it, if this is your only 5, don't put your whole 5 there. But if you're okay with, like, you know what, this 5 is gonna turn to 4. If you are in a position to do that, then that's when you go, ooh, maybe let me risk it here for this up and coming company that may turn into something. Versus this is all you got. That's what I would say. Go with the staples, Walmart, Apple. Like these companies who over time, no matter what, for the most part, is going to incline and go up. Like, don't get it wrong, you're gonna still at some point have your blockbusters and different companies that's become obsolete. So that's why I say like Walmart, Apple, like those, it's gonna take a lot for them to become obsolete, and you're gonna see it coming before it happens. Like those don't,
Yeah, but that stock ain't $5 though.
But that's why I say that's why I say
stock a little bit higher than
but
that.
that's why I say Cash App, SoFi, these are places that allow you to spend $5 and you get a partial stock. So at whatever percentage that stock goes up, that's what your $5 is going to go up. So I have in Cash App maybe like $600 of partial stocks of these bigger companies.
So you use that little thing at the bottom of the Cash App app?
Yep.
I see. I was scared of that.
Yeah.
I think everything's a scam. So shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know it really worked.
Yeah, it really worked. And like I keep up with it. Like, so I'm always on it, just seeing what my money's doing. And too, like if you buy enough, eventually it does become a whole stock. And I get different letters for like when Apple is doing a voter, like they're doing a governor's board vote. Like I get the updates and stuff of that because I actually own some of the stock.
So let me ask you this, since we're talking about bouncing back a little bit. So if you lost a lot of money or you see a stock that you choose going down, at what point do you know to either sell it or just keep it, just leave it alone? How do you choose?
All right. So I can give you a real life example. It's this, I'm not just keep plugging brands. It's this one auto invest stock account that I had where I put $500 in it, and it was just supposed to auto invest. I'm not going to touch it. It's supposed to grow. Within like 6 months of me doing it, it went from 500 to like 422. So at that point, I put that money there to invest and save. So I could pull it out and lose $80, or I can just let it sit. So in the next 6 months, now it's back up to 523. So within a year, it went all the way down. It's back up to 523. So that's where it just goes back to: are you able to wait it out? And two, if it's falling, why is it falling? Like I said, if you had Blockbuster at the time of its height and you see this Netflix thing starting to pick up steam, like, hey, you better cut your losses because clearly they're not coming back. Right. Like same with Kodak when digital cameras came out. Hey, so it is part of just keeping up with what's going on in technology, because nowadays that what ends companies more than anything is technology.
Okay, I got a question, and it's for you, Snow.
Oh.
So you're somebody who's let me just be frank. You somebody that niggas look at like you got a lot of money. Do you feel that way? Like, is that fair to say?
Yeah, I guess so.
So it's also fair to say that you looked at somebody who is looked at like a street nigga.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
You think that's unfortunate?
Yeah,
I think it's actually kind of cool.
It is now.
So, like, what are some of the, because you make big investments, because you mentioned earlier your teeth.
Yeah.
Is that some things? Is it like, oh, let me go out here, hustle, so I can get this, or is it something that like, okay, I'm gonna save, I'm gonna plan, I'm gonna try to be responsible. I don't want to use the word responsible, but I'm gonna try to budget, so to speak.
No, you got trap money. Trap money, that shit gonna come. It's gonna come and go. So when you get it fast, you spend it fast. I got gold teeth. Where I'm from, gold teeth are like it's a hood trophy. The more you got, the more money they know you got. Because a grill, you can go to the mall and get you a 6-thing of grill for $99. But you got gold crowns. It's like $2,000 a tooth. So now you see a nigga got his whole mouth gold. He don't spend, all these thousands of dollars on his mouth. So it's like, you're going to buy what you want right then and there because you don't know if you're going to even be alive to spend the money the next day. Now, people always ask me what I was going to do after 35. I could never give them that answer because, to be honest, I didn't think I would be alive to see 35. So I just told him, shit, whatever happened, happened. So now that I'm here, it's like, damn, what am I gonna do? At this age, because I wasted half of my life being in the streets. So now, it's good to hear that, we got accountants. Because my next question is going to be, well, shit, how can I clean up some of this dirty money? shit. Lead me in the right direction. I'm trying to feed me and my family without getting killed. Because like a lot of people seen my interview that was on, nigga got shot 7 times. It's people out here that got shot once and, not alive. Got shot 7 times, did time in prison. But you shouldn't have to do all that. Yeah, I got shot 7 times. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Were you this small when you got shot?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But okay, so like moving the conversation on, because the subject initially was supposed to be how to shake back.
Yeah.
And I wanted to start with finances because I think that's something we all tend to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Some of us struggle, some of us prosper. You know what I mean? But Jazz, going to you, how do you control your emotions or your actions when it comes to saving?
Well, like I said, at a certain point, I realized, like, damn, I make decent money, and I feel like I really don't have nothing to fall back on at that point. And it was some stuff that happened in my life where finances changed a little bit. I had to do a little bit more or whatever. But and that was at that point where I'm like, damn, I should have a good checking and a good savings, but I don't. So really, I just had to, it was a mental thing for me. I had to really buckle down. I started writing stuff down, which is crazy because now I'm feeling like, damn, I'm acting like my mama. Now I realize why she was writing stuff down, or my grandpa, why he was writing stuff down. Because you got to see that shit and you got to plan that shit out, and then you got to put it into motion. But it's really a mental thing to make you switch up. Because again, you got to not worry about what other people think, what other people got to say, because hell, half the time they only know the big stuff that they see. They don't even really realize what's valuable and what's not. So it ain't about flaunting in front of nobody. It's about making sure you straight. And then once you do something like that, now I still can save and I still can go out and buy something that I want. Like earlier I told you, I'm getting ready to buy me a truck, but I'm still going to be straight and I'm still going to have some savings. But it's hard. It's very hard. But
Okay, this is a
Can I say one thing?
go ahead.
And y'all both kind of have talked about it in different ways. I feel like one way to like fix a lot of in poverty or just bad spending that we do as a race is we focus more on the worth of something and versus what we pay. Like perfect example, we've all seen interviews with different rappers or celebrities. I spent $100,000 on this chain, but the chain is worth 25. Where
Right.
the real brag would be, I spent 10 on this chain, it's worth 50. So,
Right.
so if you look at, let's say your grill,
Yeah.
you may not, let's pretend you don't have no money setting to the side,
Mhm.
but you have real gold in your mouth that
Right.
you pay $500 for, and today is worth $1,200.
True that.
So that means you're making a profit while doing what you want to do. Like I said, I have a shoe habit. I have most of my shoes, I try to buy the value. I have some shoes that I paid $400, is now worth about $1 band. So I treat my closet as a stock. So there's times where I'm like, damn, I spent a lot of money on shoes. But if I was to go sell them today, I can go quick flip that back. And if we focus more on value, on even our bigger purchases, like we'll be cool. Like eventually the shoes you have in your feet is going to be worth more than what you paid for them. So eventually, hey, I need a quick 2 bag. You can go get that like immediately.
So let me lead on into the next subject though. And we're gonna stay with you, Spade. How do you because I'm gonna ask Tony next, but I'm gonna ask it in a different manner. But how do you try to convince, or like how do you speak to your family, or how does your family respond to the knowledge you've been able to gain from being an accountant?
But fine. Like I'm blunt to a fault. So usually when I say something, it kind of resonates because I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, you doing good. No, like you wildin'.
Right.
Right.
No, yeah, like it.
Do they respond well?
No, not all the time. Like I can give you a very personal story. My wife went to college. She studied African American studies. When she lost her second job and couldn't find one, and I looked at her and I said, "What job did you think you was gonna find with African American studies?" It was a long day in my house.
Yo.
It was a long
For
day,
real.
long day.
I've been funny, but for real.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, being willing to be honest with the people you care about, and also accepting their honesty, because man, a lot of time people just walking out here foul just because somebody's scared to say something. And
That's true.
Okay, and
Yeah.
Snow, it's the same question, but in a different manner. How do you feel about people who ask or expect of you when you have the perception of having money?
Man, story of my life. I'm gonna tell you, it's like
They bought $20 to the mall.
you gonna get if I can tell you how many put me on messages I get in my inbox, it'll blow your mind. But it's like they think because you got it and you family, you expected to spend it on them. You know, so it make it hard. It go back to what you were saying, make it hard to save, and it make it hard to actually invest in something because hey, mama needs something, granny needs something, your mama want to quit a job, granny want to quit her job, your brother got a bar, and it's a never ending process.
and it's things that you care about, so you feel obligated.
To a certain extent, for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's one of my biggest downfalls. One of my biggest downfalls is I like to Tyler Perry a bitch. You know what that is?
Nah, talk to me.
I like to find a raggedy asshole and build her ass up and turn her into a Karuchi. Like Chris Brown did Karuchi. We didn't know who the fuck Karuchi was till Chris Brown Karuchi her ass. So I like to do the same shit. I like to find me a little raggedy ass bitch that work at like, you know, back end job, show her a little something, take her a little somewhere she ain't never been, and boom. Was that a bad investment? It always is. It's a terrible investment. A fucking terrible investment.
Hey, I just if y'all don't get anything from this podcast, understand grills, good investment, hoes, bad investment. Okay.
No lie.
Wait, Jay,
Boy.
I'm not even gonna ask you about hoes and investments. But I am gonna ask you, like, okay, so has there ever been a time, and not even necessarily dealing with money, has there ever been a time where you felt like you had to disassociate yourself or cut somebody off? You know what I'm saying? Family or close friend?
I did it this year to several people. Actually, me and one of my friends, we are like that friend. The one people call, the one people go to, whether it's financial, whether it's emotional, all of that shit. Always the one there for people, always the one reaching out, making sure you're okay. But I said this year, 2024, I'm not doing that shit. If you don't talk to me or if you don't check on me, I'm not going to be the one who reaches out. And then I got some friends who will literally only call me when they need some money. And I'll be that person. I'm not going to let your lights get cut off. If it's something for your kids, I'm not going to let that happen.
What's
But
your
I
number?
had to.
Shit. What's your number?
Little boy,
But I had to
$20
realize, like, damn.
Shit. Car insurance due on Sunday. What you trying to do?
Nah.
Baby needs some shoes.
swear.
Wife needs some
No, real
clothes.
shit. I do shit like that, but
We're going to get your
no,
number.
I had to.
We gonna make sure.
Like, you don't even call me and say how
We
you
keep
doing.
up
Jazz
with
is you?
Nah,
Yeah.
I'm broke.
Car
I'm real
insurance
broke.
due Sunday.
So,
I'm real broke.
but even with that, like both of y'all talked about helping people, I think you should have that circle of people in your mind. Don't nobody got to know of if these people call, I'm gonna help. And then you just got the other ones like
Is it ever a time where it's too many times?
yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, like,
It gotta
once
be a
ago
time.
again, I'm gonna tell you what I do. Because from where I'm from, I'm relatively successful. I ain't the richest, but I ain't the brokest. And last year, not trying to sad it out, my mother passed. I've had 3 different people ask me for money. You know what I say? My mama died. What you want from me? And now they got the awkward stuck face and they gotta
come
go home.
on, man.
They be like, hey. They be like, hey, bro, I really need it. I be like, damn,
Come
I
on,
need my mama, nigga.
Man, my mama died, man.
Hey,
Fuck
that's
them $40 you want.
hey, look, you get my mama, I get you 100. I don't know what you want me to do. So,
But
That's
the
crazy.
closest people to you not gonna be the people that you gotta ask that question how many times? It's too many times.
Nah, that's not true. I'm gonna tell y'all.
But
this
my
is-
close circle,
you
the
know,
people
well-
that I still do it for, they're not doing that.
I mean, because it get different when it's like family, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I learned literally yesterday, about helping people. They say sometimes like, let's use God and the people. Let's use you and your child. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you tell your son not to go across the street, or your daughter not to go across the street, and then they listen to you. But then your people come up and be like, man, you know your daddy be tripping, man. You can go ahead and cross the street. Like, you're going to be upset at your child for going across the street, but you're going to be more upset at the person that told your son it was okay to go across the street. You feel what I'm saying? That's kind of the same way God is with us. It's like, if somebody bad with their money and you bailing them out, you feel what I'm saying? I feel like stuff probably gonna start happening in your life that you're not ready for, because God gonna show you that, like, now you could have used that money for you, and I'm gonna show you what this motherfucker going through. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to interfere with what I'm trying to teach them. You know what I'm saying? The same way with the parent. It's like, nigga, I'm trying to teach my kid what I'm trying to teach my kid, and you in the way.
I actually feel like that's not happened to me.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
recently.
I learned that shit yesterday. I don't know if that's something, you know what I'm saying, that is like law, but so far as helping people, it did put in perspective, you know what I'm saying, like, a lot.
So, but yeah, but I also think that just go back to just choosing who you helping. Like, I understand y'all mentioned, is there such thing as too much? Well, there's certain people in your life that there is not going to be a never too much. Like, my older grandmother, like, there is no such thing as never too much. Like, she's just done too much for me in my life for there to be a such thing as too much. So there is just some people that's just going to have that past. Like, as my girls become an adult, just from you brought up parenting, like, there's going to be points where, all right, daddy got you. All right, now I got to let you learn. And that's the same with, like, just people in your life, unless you've put them in that category of there is no, you know, I might be like, hey, all right, now I got you.
Okay, so let me bring this into perspective. Snow, so I'm gonna go to you. Is it harder to make them adjustments as a person, whether it's financially or with your character? You know what I'm saying? When that person is closer to you, like when you see them all the time, like when they're around every day.
Not really. It ain't harder for me because I got the same feel about it. I'm only gonna help you so many times. Then it's gonna be fuck. It's like, we can either fight about it, or you can get the fuck out of my life, you know. And that go from
Even
whoever.
if they owe you. Like, it's like, yeah, this nigga, that $40, I gave him that $40 last time.
Man, I ain't expecting it back when I put it in their hands. Rule number one, my daddy told me, he said, don't loan it if you expecting to get it back.
Word.
So if they ask for 1,000, I give them 1,000. I automatically chop it up as an L. I know I ain't getting it back. It's gonna be 1,000 excuses. Your grandmama needed some drawers. You had 2 flat tires. Your baby mama tripping. I already know mine is too. Crazy hoe.
What do you want me to say?
Street school, grandma.
Street school.